All right, I'm reading an article in Politico magazine, and it said, "What will it take to beat Trump? The case for a generic Democrat."
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Had to pause for a second. The case for a generic Democrat. In other words, this implying that a generic Democrat is what we should consider to go up against Trump. Let me keep reading. Democrats do not need inspiration or revolution.
What the hell did you just say?
What? Democrats don't need inspiration or revolution to win in 2020. Let me tell you something, idiots. If Democrats don't clean their own house, fix their own party, own up to their own sins and stop this mess, repent, for the kingdom of Trump will continue. If you don't stop this mess, you will not get a win. If you do not have an inspirational, revolutionary type person to run for office, a populist, you are not going to win in 2020. When the last time you won? You haven't won in a long time. These wins that you recently got came from the Democratic Socialists, people who you skewed, joked, mocked, defund, didn't want to touch, didn't even want to help. People who were on your side but a little more left, they won most of the election without your help. Democrats don't need inspiration or revolution to win in 2020. They just need somebody bland and inoffensive, kind of like a Doug Jones. Oh, this is going to be painful read because it's already pathetic. Democrats still reeling from last week's wipeout have been embroiled in a debate over how to fix what went wrong in 2016. I've told you in 2016 what went wrong. I got a playlist on my YouTube channel called Dumb DNC Mistakes. Dumb, D-U-M-B, D-N-C, like Run DMC, but without the R and the U and the N. Dumb DMC Mistakes. And I go through a few of them, like running a liar, a bona fide liar for president. Number 2, running a person for office who loves to pander. Number 3, underestimating the Bernie or Bust movement. Don't underestimate the grassroots. That's your dumbest mistake. Your grassroots went over to Donald Trump. I can go on and on. I'm adding to that series. So, how to fix what went wrong in 2016. Should they tack left or should they tack center? Dude. Woo white working class voters with ambitious economic agenda, or double down on the base by blitzing Donald Trump on bigotry, power towards health care, inequality, oligarchy, and democracy. The Doug Jones upset in deep red Alabama may have just rendered these debates irrelevant. Dude, who wrote this? Brian Anderson, man, you get paid for this mess? You're a liar, man. You actually get paid. Or, I mean, if you can do this, I can do this. Doug Jones, deep red Alabama may have just rendered those debates irrelevant. The Senate newest member did not embrace single payer health care. He did not embrace free college or $15 minimum wage. He did not swerve right on abortion and guns. In fact, he didn't have any signature party proposed at all. What Jones did was take off the shelf the most pallid Democratic talking points. Quality, affordable health. College must be affordable. I believe in science. Discrimination cannot be tolerated in campaign with the pleasant and inoffensive manner. He was born, he was safe. He was Mr. Generic Democrat. And it worked. That should make Democrats think twice about what they should be looking for in the 2020 presidential nominee. Most Democrats Wednesday morning quarterbacking after last year's election presumed that to maximize base turnout and impressive swing state and same old wouldn't do. let me read this. Most Democrats Wednesday morning quarterbacking after last year's elections, presuming that to maximize base turnout and impress swing voters, same old wouldn't do. One way or another, Democrats at least need to be bold. But the downside risk of boldness is polarizing. What fires up one group can easily anger the other. The decidedly not bold Jones campaign pulled off a better trick of let me go back to this, because I can't get into this article without debating some of this stuff. Let me go back. He said Doug Jones upset in Deep Red, Alabama may have just rendered these debates relevant. How would it make it relevant? Tell me, Mr. Bryan, Mr. Anderson, tell me. How do that render relevant? Well, no, Doug Jones didn't run on $15 an hour. He didn't run on free college. He didn't run on single-payer health care. He did not swear right on abortion or gun. In fact, he didn't even have a signature policy proposal at all. What Jones did was take off the talking points, just talk quality, affordable health care, college affordable, I believe in science. Okay, let me stop you right there, Doc. First of all, the only reason Doug Jones won is because he was running against a pedophile racist. And like I said last week, if every person that runs against a Democratic in 2018, in order for you to really barely win, you got to label every last one of them either a pedophile or a sexual predator, or you got to label them a racist. You got to smear them with three of these pieces of doo-doo. You can't do that to everybody that's going to run for your mayorship, for your governorship, for your state senate, you name it. You can't do that to every person. Doug Jones barely won. Doug Jones didn't win that election. Roy Moore lost with his big mouth. Well, I know back in the days, I understand what Donald Trump mean when he said he wanted to make America great. Let me tell you what I think about America when America was really, really, really great. That was back in Prohibition days. I know. Our relationships with our wives were strong. The family was strong. We had a direction that we were going to go with the country. Yet at the same time, you're sneaking out of the plantation. I done told you before, sneaking out of the plantation, raping the black man's slave wife, having sex with her little daughters or whoever. You were raping them. Some of them you were killing because they got pregnant. But the family was strong. Well, there was the man, that was that man, the white man's property. He can do whatever he want to do with that black slave wife. Really? That kind of mouth got him to lose the election. It was not. It was Roy Moore mouth and Roy Moore past that got him defeated. Doug Jones did not win that election. So if you want to use this as a cookie cutter or a template to win the next election, well, what we're going to do, we're just going to make sure that anybody that run against Trump is going to be a label, a racist, a sexist, a pedophile, or a woman, fond of women, sexual aggressive. You can't do that on every race. You got to run on a platform. Yeah, no, okay, Doug Jones, he ran on quality, affordable health care, fight discrimination, make sure college affordable, and yeah, I believe in science. Oh, God, I don't know what to do with you people, man. You actually think you're going to win in 2020 by making sure everybody that runs against a Democrat look like Roy Moore. You can't do that, and you won't do that, because some of these people may end up being black. You may end up running against a black Republican. You going to call him a racist? No. You're going to call him a buck dancer for Donald Trump. You're going to call him a coon instead of talking about policies. The reason you got those wins in the election before the Roy Moore situation was because they did talk about $15 minimum hour, because the people wanted that in general, you dumb idiot. Have you checked the last polls? Bernie Sanders is number one popular politician. Why? Because of his platform. $15 minimum wage, no cost college, affordable housing. Come on now. Single payer health care. The people want that in general. So stop with this stupid stuff. Well, I understand that, Roy Moore was a bigot, and all we need to do is do the rest of the candidates like that. Because that's what you're saying. Like I said before, Doug Jones did not win. Roy Moore lost because of his ideology and his big mouth. I'm just going to ride I'm going to ride on a horse with my wife, and we're going to cast our vote with our cowboy hat in deep down South Alabama, where the South will rise again. Woohoo! That's what caused him to lose that election. You Democrats better not think that it was because Doug Jones was a good guy and people would rather vote for Doug Jones. Let me tell you something. With 95+% of the black vote turning out, he barely won by 2%. Now, next 2 years, there's going to be another race in Alabama, and it's going to be somebody that's not a Doug Jones, that's not going to be known for messing with little 10-year-old girls at the mall back in 1942, whatever. It's not going to be that person. It's not going to be the one that say, well, the family was strong during pre-prohibition days. Yeah, we had slaves. It's not going to be that guy. It's going to be a safe guy like Moore. And guess what? The black people is not going to be encouraged to go out because this guy is not going to be talking about racism. I'm telling you, bad as it is, the trying to date young girls, trying to have sex with young girls wasn't what killed Roy Moore. It wasn't that. It's the racist comment. The racist comments that got sure, it may have helped black people, but it was the racist comment that got the black people to go out and vote in huge numbers. You're not going to get that in every corner, every city, every part of the state, in every area of the United States. You're not going to get that. So I'm telling you now, you dumb people, you're going to listen to this article and you're going to sit there and follow this mess. And that's what it is, mess. If you don't go hard left, if you don't run on some real serious issues and be serious about like $15 an hour minimum wage across board, free college, free health care, if you don't run on something like that, affordable housing, if you don't run on something like that, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. People want a real change. They don't want a bland politician. They want a command type of politician. One that's going to stand up bold and say, I had enough with this political crap. I had enough with money in politics. I had enough with us spending the taxpayers' money on the military that we don't need to be fighting. I had enough of rich politicians cutting taxes for the rich people, but going to make us pay the most in taxes 5 years later. I had enough of this. Enough is enough. We need to do something big and bold. Let me keep reading. Oh, he was born, he was saved, he was Mr. Generic Democrat, and it worked. No, it didn't work. That didn't cause him to win, you knucklehead. Roy Moore lost. He beat himself with his big, bad, big racist mouth. I want to cuss so bad, man. Good gracious, I want to cuss like 30 times, man. But y'all know I don't cuss, man. But I got 13 cuss words in my heart right now. I might as well just let it out because either way, how dumb. He said that should make Democrats think twice about what they should be looking for in 2020 and a 2020 presidential nominee. No, it shouldn't. That should make you be even lock, stock more on this thing that you go left or go home. You give the people what they want or go home. Don't come with this middle road politician stuff. The people need help. We just gave the oligarch a tax break that means millions of tax dollars is not going to go in the system to help the less unfortunate. It's going to go into the rich people's pocket. People who don't need the money. People who pretty much not paying taxes anyway. All right, let me keep going on this stupid article. Most Democrats Wednesday morning quarterbacking after last year's election presumed that to maximize base turnout and impressive swing voters, same old wouldn't do. One way or another, Democrats at least need to be bold. But the downside risk of boldness is polarization. What fires up one group can easily anger another. Now, let me stop here. When you say group, what are you talking about group? You talking about a group of people in a party? Because that got to be what you're talking about. Well, I mean, if we to go and do whatever we can for people who are here struggling and hurt might shy away our corporate base, or might shy away our higher middle income base. Man, you better do something. because the people who are struggling outweighs. Let's put it this way: the true people who believe in progressive policies. When I say progressive, it's the mindset. It's not a party. True people who believe in progressive policies outweighs people who want just the mundane, boring, same old. Majority of Americans need that $15 an hour. They want universal health care, and they want to be able to get a good, decent education without working and breaking their back and stripping on poles and making it clap to pay for their college. Because that's what's happening. We got people going to school that's escorting to pay their way in college. And they got kids working in the strip club, making it clap, trying to get that dollar in college because they can't afford to take doctor class. I mean, these are people who are if you ever find out about the lady or the man who are working in your mouth right now to pull your tooth out, or probably draining the fluid out of your leg, do you understand some of these people probably was dancing on poles, making it clap to get through college? But you saying that we don't need to run, we need to run on affordable college. These are the people who already, they out there in school getting an education on quote unquote affordable college. They got a grant, they got all that, but it's still not enough. But if we had no cost education, there would be no reason to go out there and make it clap. Anyway, let me keep going. I know you're saying, Rob, you bringing stuff up. Yeah, make it clap. I'm serious, because I had people stay across the hall from me, roommating to keep the rent down. And all three people were stripping. They stripped at the same strip club. They lived in the same house, all to keep the cost down. And all three of them was in college. And they told me it's the quickest way I could make some money without working 8-9 hours on the job and falling asleep in the middle of my school book. So let me keep going. The decidedly not bold Jones campaign pulled off a better trick, firing up the Democratic base while putting Republican base to sleep. By being a generic Democrat, Jones didn't call much attention to himself and instead let the harsh spotlight remain on Roy Moore Powell controversies. That's what I'm saying. He did not win. Black people came out to stop the racists. Black people didn't come out because they loved Doug Jones, even though he got a record of fighting for civil rights and injustice in America. But they didn't come out for Doug Jones. They came out to stop Roy Moore, the pedophile racist. Jones' career milestone of successfully prosecuting 2 Ku Klux Klan members for the deadly 1963 Birmingham church bombing may have aided with the critical African-American turnout. Yeah, they went to stop the racists. They didn't go out because of Doug Jones' career of defeating the Ku Klux Klan. You could ask them, why did you go out there and vote for Doug Jones? It wouldn't be say, well, you know, and he prosecuted 2 Ku Klux Klansmen. That may have been a little bit, but that wasn't the main reason why they went out there. But his public position on current civil rights issues were thin and did not go beyond party platform or boilerplate. And a Washington Post sample of black voters in Alabama found many showed up primarily to stop Moore, not reward Jones. That's exactly what I'm saying. They did not feel inspired to show up for the candidate in Jones, who they felt did not aggressively pursue their vote. They were moved to wait in line, some people for hours, with the goal of keeping Moore from winning. So you see where I'm coming from. If Jones didn't strain in his outreach to Alabama African Americans, neither did he try to pull a sister soldier, publicly breaking with the left on an issue like criminal justice reform to impress Alabama conservative. If he dared to challenge the party orthodoxy, the Democrat base might not have turned out in force. Conversely, if he had campaigned with more left-wing edge, he might have convinced several thousand additional Republicans that they should set aside their misgiving about their own nominee and get out the House to stop Jones. Jones stayed within the confounds of generousness and got the turnout mixed he needed. Various program groups that have pressed at the Democratic Party to shift leftward, such as MoveOn.org, Indivisible, and the Working Family Party, have taken some credit for pouring resources in Alabama and boosting base turnout, just as they did with the gubernatorial victory in Virginia. Low-key Ralph Northam, who is another borderline Republican dressed in Democratic clothing. But that only proves that the activists on the left are perfectly willing and able to get behind a generic Democratic and tactically ally with the moderate to defeat the distasteful Republican, no boldness necessary. Now that's where you messed up again, you idiot. You're trying to say, well, that worked. So all we need to do is do something to make the social justice warriors, let me read that again. Various progressive groups that have pressed the Democratic Party to shift. First of all, MoveOn.org isn't all that progressive. Left such as MoveOn.org, Individual and Working Family Party, the Working Family Party, Individual, pretty much progressive. They taking some sort of credit. So you're thinking that, okay, if we could just try to use our brain to make this person look this way, we'll still get the left people to come out and vote for us. Really? So you're going to use us for our votes. Let's find their candidate and let's bring out all their dark side. And they'll be dumb enough to forget about policies, forget about demands, forget about that. They will side with us to vote against the sexist, the racist, the pedophile, the thief, the rapist, the con artist. They'll side with us anyway to stop that guy. All we have to do is let them see how dangerous this guy is, and they're going to fall in line and vote with us. It's not going to work, Doc. And you right now are spilling the beans. You just spilled the beans. You think progressives are that dumb. We're not dumb at all. Anyway, let me keep going. Can the same strategy work in 2020? Polls already showed that a generic Democrat would beat Trump handily. Anybody will beat Trump. A frog will beat Trump. We don't need a generic Democrat. We need something big and bold. Might as well give the people what they want. Oh, you kidding me, you stupid idiot. Can the same strategy work in 20? Polls already showed that a generic Democrat will beat Trump handily. So you want to put a generic Democrat against Donald Trump. That's why you don't listen to polls. Because that generic Democrat would lose, because the Democratic Party the Democratic Party at a whole is a crooked institution. They have lost 13 million plus people who are still on the fence right now on whether they should go with you or not. They're looking at you with beady little eyes, and they're looking for one mistake, and this is one you're making right now. They are eagerly ready and excited about voting for a third party. They're willing to sacrifice everything again, to grow a third party. I'm telling you now, don't do this stupid stuff right now, because you're going to end up getting Trump again, and you can't blame the millennials because they ain't fall for your stupid BS. Like more, Trump has a rabid base, but not much else. He won last year without a popular vote majority, and his support has eroded ever since, with the national job approval rating mirrored in the 30s for the most of 2017. But the point is, he won the electoral college and he's president. So what that got to do with anything now? This month's Des Moines registered polls show that only 35% of Iowans remain on board the Trump train, on an anonymous sign for a president who squeaked into office by merely 70,000 votes in a certain key electoral college state. To beat an incumbent that unpopular, most likely all you need is a candidate who stay out of the way and out of the fray. If a Democratic Party voters become convinced that they should look for the next Jones, then they're early front-runners. The pugnacity populist Senator Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, as well as the grab-prone former Vice President Joe Biden, could suffer a downgrade. Strong personality like Governor Andrew Cuomo, New York, or Terry McAuliffe of Virginia, also may deem too risky, along with those who tend to provoke social media, such as Senator Cory Booker here in New Jersey. Now, let me go through this. Now, I'm not going to keep reading the article because it's too long and it's ticking me off, but let me stop this, okay? I'm going to stop here. All right, so basically he's saying that, look, we have a formula of winning. Paint the person that we run against as brash and bold and something people that we want, and we can beat them. We may barely beat them, but we can beat them. We can even get some of the Bernie Sanders supporters to go out and vote for us. We can get people in different progressive parties and progressive organizations. Like I said, MoveOn.org is not your typical organization, Doc. I won't consider them progressives, okay? So in other words, he's trying to say, look, let's stay safe. That's what you did with Hillary Clinton. Let's run a generic. That's what you did with Hillary Clinton. Let's run a bland. She is bland as they come. It's like drinking warm water. Ugh. She's bland as they come. Let's keep a bland problem, and all we have to do is tie this person up to Trump and make him look bad, and we could get left and center people to go out and vote for it. No, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. It's not going to happen. Then he got the nerve to say if Democratic primary voters become convinced that they should look for the next Jones, then they're early front runners. No. And I'm going to help convince them that they better not be looking for the next Doug Jones, because he barely won by 2 points. And if he would have ran against anybody other than Moore, a decent Republican, what y'all call a decent Republican, he would have lost. So you want to build campaigns on that strategy, that dumb strategy, you dummy. You want to build campaign strategies on a barely won race, not really won by the person who won, but lost by the person because he is a blatant racist and a pedophile. Dude, wake up. That dude barely won. Barely. Had he ran against anybody other than a racist pedophile, he would have lost. And you want to copy and paste that campaign. How dumb. Then you got to mention Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. Well, we better not go with them. They're too extreme. That's right. They want $15 for everybody. Oh, they want universal health care. They want to make sure everybody gets health care without coming out of their pocket. That's too extreme. It's going to run the insurance companies out of America. That's too extreme. Don't run them guys. Don't run the guy who wants $15 an hour minimum wage cross board. Let's keep people at $12, $13. Because that's where majority of the country is. They still haven't cracked. They still haven't passed. And New York is good, because New York, even though it's expensive as crap, $15 an hour is going to be okay next year. It will be the law. $15 an hour. But that's not the law in Virginia and other states. They're still struggling with $8, $9 an hour. And you want to keep a bland person to keep them at $8, $9 an hour? Get out of here, Doc. You trying to tell us to shy away from the person who wants $15 an hour? You trying to tell us to shy away from the person who don't want nobody to pay to get a higher education or to go to a hospital? Get out of here, man. And then you're going to float Joe Biden. Joe Biden is too tied up to Wall Street. These people don't want that type of person for president, because he's not going to do nothing for the black community. Just because he served with a black president, half black, half white, but just because he served with a black president doesn't mean he's going to do something for the black community. They haven't done nothing for the black community in the past 10 years. Get out of here with that mess. Now, you're talking about strong personalities like Governor Andrew Cuomo. This is one thing I can say about Cuomo. I've met Cuomo personally. I've done an initiative with Cuomo. I work with a lot of Cuomo's inner circle when they deal with identity theft and like that. I don't know him. I don't eat with him or nothing like that. But I've met him, I've sat with him, I've conversated with him. I know Cuomo. He's a progressive, but he's more corporatist than progressive, but he do believe in progressive values. And do I think he's going to run in 2020? You're doggone right. He ain't saying it, but I know it. He has a resume. They just passed a bill in New York that if you make $150,000 or less, you can go to college for free. And they're expanding that up to $250, and they're going to spend any college in New York. There are caveats to that, certain things you got to do for that, but that is the law in New York. $15 minimum wage an hour will be the law next year, next December 2018. It will be the law. And right now, they're 2 people away in the governor vote on single-payer health care in New York, and he's going to do it. Health care is going to be made available for all for no cost in New York. I am prophesying as I can. I'm letting you know. It's going to pass because he needs that resume to campaign on when he runs for president. He'll be able to say, I got $15 an hour. I got no-cost education for those making $250,000 or less. I got universal health care. Nobody has to worry about coming out of their pocket when they're hurt, sick, or need medication. He's going to have that resume. So he's running. And he can run on that. He's a greedy capitalist vulture also. and that can mess them up. Last but not least, you're going to talk about Terry McAuliffe, man. Terry McAuliffe is being investigated for ethics charges by the FBI. Get out of here. Man, I just don't understand how you guys get to be journalists and get paid for this stuff, man. To write stupid articles. Give me the check. I can write a better article than that. This article don't make no sense. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a well-written article, but the content is stupid. It's dumb. Then you got the nerve to talk about Cory Booker. Cory Booker? Cory Booker sold out the elderly. Bernie Sanders was trying to pass a bill to get drugs from Canada to come down to the United States for a cheaper price. So people who don't have the money got to make a difference between paying the rent and getting their medication and getting sick. So people who are in that kind of situation can get it cheaper. He struck it down. Cory Booker. And for you people who think, well, as long as he's black. Come on, get out of here. A black man that's going to continue to hurt black people, you'd rather have them? I'd rather have a white person who's going to help people out in general than a black man who's going to hurt black people, hurt black, white, and any other kind of people. Then you're talking about Chris Murray. Steve Bullock. All right, I'm done with this article. I know I kind of went kind of long on this one. Look, the bottom line is this. You better change your game. You better change your strategy. First of all, you need to fix that crooked party. The party is unethical to the T, and you need to start from the bottom to the top. You let a woman buy you out and pimp you out, and took all the money from the down ballot and put her in her pocket. She literally pimped the DNC, and that's the reason why the Congress is overwhelmingly Republican. If I go down, everybody go down. That's exactly what Hillary Clinton did. When I went down, everything else went down. What kind of crap is that? We already lost 1,000 seats previously before this last election. Hillary Clinton did not give none of those people in those states $1. Well, a little bit of money, but not enough to win a campaign. And she shouldn't have been in charge of that anyway. That was Debbie Wasserman Schultz, another crook. That was her job, to make sure every person in the down ballot have enough fundings to do a proper campaign to defeat their candidate, defeat their opponent. But she didn't do it. They let all that money go to Hillary Clinton, to her campaign, and those people in the different states lost their race because they didn't have the funding. It all went to Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton lost, everybody else lost. If I go down, we all going down. And the reason we got Donald Trump right now is because of that kind of mindset. And another reason why we got Donald Trump right now is because the DNC, led by Hillary Clinton, did not fund the people in the down ballots, did not fund the governor race, did not fund the senatorial race, and did not fund the mayoral race. And right now, the Senate is overwhelmingly Republican because of that dumb, stupid mistake. And you got the new nerve to talk about Russia. This is why Trump passed this bill, because there is no opposition. Anyway, let me stop, man. This article really pisses me off, man. Pisses me off that here we go. We're almost 2 years in the Trump presidency, and you still got the same stupid mentality. Same dumb, stupid mentality that's going to cause Trump to get 4 more years, and nobody from the black community wants that. Nobody from the poor white community really wants that. Anyway, I'm done. Dude. Wake the heck up. Hey, thank you for watching the webcast. By all means, make sure you like, subscribe, and share these videos. Go to YouTube right now and hit the notification button and hit the subscribe. And if you're interested in supporting the channel, by all means, there's a Patreon link. I will put a PayPal link, and the money toward that goes toward equipment, things like that. And last but not least, make sure you look at 2 sections down below. One is called Get to Know LS, the membership. The other one is Get to Know LS, the opportunity. What do you mean LS? LS is a program that called Legal Shield that I am an independent representative of. That company has nothing to do with my views. I fell in love with this program about a decade ago. I've been doing this for over a decade, offering the services to people to benefit and connecting people to the services, putting them in a position where equal justice under the law is not just on the Supreme Court building. It's actually becoming a reality in their lives by having this memberships. And with this organization, not only will you be able to know about your rights in a certain area, but you'll know about how to exert and execute your right with the power of attorney, top-rated attorney, backing you no matter where you go, without worrying about all this money coming out your pocket and things like that. So get to know LS, the member, financially. You can help contribute to this program by becoming a member. Some of the proceeds of being a member of LS goes toward Freedom on Fire and the Rob Report. I'm Robert Bob TV Brown. I thank you for being a huge support to what we do here. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.